Okay, let's talk about receiving serve on the deuce side if you're a right-handed player. And it's the same problem for lefties on the ad side. And that is when you get a backhand and you feel like it's almost like an inside-out shot where you have to get turned, and somehow, rather than having some swing freedom that naturally would feel like you're going back to that net player, to the server's partner, you have to sort of swing inside out and be able to go back to the server. I don't feel like this is really an inside, a quote-unquote inside-out backhand. What I feel is the most important component over here is that you artificially turn as much as you can with this front shoulder, so that you're looking over, if you're the server and I'm looking over the serve coming to my backhand from you, so that now it feels like a natural backhand swing going back in that direction. If you don't turn enough here, if you get about halfway turned here, then your natural backhand drive topspin is right back towards that server's partner. You've got to really get sideways on this to start with that shoulder turn, and then you have to maintain that sideways position as you swing. I think too often what happens is number one, we either don't get turned enough, but sometimes we do get turned enough here, but we don't feel comfortable staying sideways as we swing, and we start to open up the shoulder a little bit too soon. And once you open up that shoulder, you're now no longer aligned to swing right back towards you. If you're the server, you're now aligned to swing back towards your partner who's up at net. So it's really more of an optical illusion. This is not a different shot than if you're on the backhand side as a right-handed player, where you would more naturally feel that you can swing cross court. You've just simply got to get yourself sideways here, number one, and then you've got to maintain that sideways position much longer than what might feel comfortable for you. And it's kind of weird because I found clips of Mike on the ad side, which is the first few tips that we've looked at, and then I found some tips of Mike on the deuce side. And it's not with a different partner. He's still playing with his brother Bob, but it looks like from time to time they switch up which side they're going to return serve on. And I don't know, maybe they, in the beginning of their career, they were on one side, decided to change it up, or maybe because of the type of opponent. I guess we'd have to ask them why they do that. But I've got examples of Mike both in the ad and also on the deuce side, where you're going to see how he goes ahead, gets sideways, and then stays sideways on that backhand topspin return to serve drive. Okay, here's a clip I found of Mike returning from the deuce side. And, one of the things he does here is he starts in a little different position than what he does on the ad side, in that he is not, his feet aren't really sort of lined up in terms of, bisecting the, the server's angle, or the two extreme angles, which is going to be down here, the T, or out wide. But if you watch what Mike does here when he moves and kind of jumps forward into a split step, is he ends up with his feet, now his feet are aligned in a position to where he's really facing that server. And so he's, in my mind, he's really kind of bisecting these two extreme angles. He's moved forward, as we talked about, with that forward movement, or in Mike's case, kind of a jump into the split step. And what we're to see here is he's, look at where his hands are. This is the same setup position we talked about before when he was on the ad side. He's really got his arms hanging down naturally. He's got his elbows bent, and he's really got the racket. In fact, let's kind of take it back just a hair here. He's really got his racket sort of more pointing toward his left side as he comes into that split step. And now when he reacts and to the fact that he's getting a serve with backhand, all he's doing is just turning sideways. And just like we talked about in the prior video, not only do you need to make sure that you get sideways enough to where you could be looking over your shoulder, but what you're going to see Mike do here is that he doesn't come out of this position. He really stays sideways. And look at this right here. I mean, I know this is a small image, but believe me, his eyes are not looking forward. His eyes are looking where that point of contact was. And just like we talked about with that Federer topspin backhand, he's really pinching his shoulders. Can you see his left hand, which is his non-racket hand, kind of back here behind him? And that really ensures that he stays sideways so that the swing path has a chance to go forward out towards the target. And that's the end of the swing. I mean, that's it right there. He doesn't swing any further forward than that. The ball's released, and there you have it. You've got a return to serve winner there. So all of the components that we talked about with those three fundamentals and all the different bullet points that kind of comprise each one of the general fundamentals of Mike's return to serve, that topspin backhand return to serve from the ad side, they all apply to the same thing over here on the deuce side. So, I want you to take your notes that you took on these first three fundamentals from the ad side, and I want you to look at them and apply them to this video here where Mike is returning serve from the deuce court. I know this is a big-time challenge as a righty, big-time challenge as a lefty from the ad court, and trying to hit this topspin backhand drive to this side of the court from the deuce court. So right below the video, let me know if you've got any questions or comments. And then the next thing I'm going to do right here is I've got some video of this match with this kid right here, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher his name, but it's Nenad Zimonjic. I apologize for all the Eastern Europeans in the audience. But this guy has got a backhand from the deuce side return to serve that is just absolutely golden, and I want to get that video for you right now.
Oh. Lovely.
Okay, let's watch Zimonjic right here. And again, I apologize if I'm butchering this guy's name, but I know that he's been ranked as high as, I think, I don't know, 1 in the world in doubles. So my apologies for probably mispronouncing this guy's name. But, this is the return to serve we're talking about, the right-handed player from the deuce side, and trying to take this topspin drive backhand over to this side. And I want you to watch the fundamentals here that we've been talking about. And again, here the arms hanging down, the elbows are comfortably bent. Here's the racket in front of his left shoulder, pointed, slightly up from his racket hand. And as he recognizes that he's getting a backhand, he's just turning his shoulders. Elbows are bent. We can't see the front elbow, but believe me, it's bent, and basically just kind of pointing the racket up as he gets sideways. And now he's going to stay sideways as he reaches out and plays the shot back cross court. I'm telling you, no, this is not an easy ball to do it on, especially this one here where this one's got a little bounce. I mean, this one gets up probably shoulder high. So, you got to be a world-class player to be able to pull this off consistently, but you can still work on these three fundamentals that we've been talking about, which is, what do you do here during the tossing motion? You have a little step forward into a split step. How do you react to it? Well, you turn the shoulders, and you set the racket in a certain position. And then the third fundamental is the swing path goes forward and over the top of the ball. And that's all that you need. And there's your cross court down low return to serve.
And it sets up an opportunity.
Okay, I've got a couple more sample backhands here from Zimonjic that I want you to watch. And these aren't returns to serve, but these are standard backhand topspin drives in doubles. And I'm telling you, this thing looks so clean, looks so simple. And basically the same fundamentals that we're talking about in the return to serve all apply here. Number one is going to be, and here we go. Number one is going to be that, you react to this ball by simply turning your shoulders. The elbows stay bent. Racket head points up. and you don't go racket back. You simply get yourself sideways here. And this is really interesting because both of these guys are wondering who's going to take this ball. And I'm sure that these two have played together so much that, Daniel Nestor over here and Zimonjic here just kind of know who's going to take it. And if I'm Daniel Nestor and I'm playing with this guy here, I'm letting him take this backhand each and every time. So there's one, and now here comes kind of a pop-up, and I want you to watch this, and I'm going to go ahead and I will give this to you in real time and play it over a few times. But this thing is so solid. It is so incredibly solid. I mean, it looks for all intents and purposes, it's going right up here, and at the last second, he just kind of pulls it cross court. I've got another one I want to show you that's coming up right here that does go down the middle. And this thing is so copyable. I don't know if that's a word, but here are the three fundamentals again. We've reacted, or he's reacted with the shoulders. He's kept the elbows bent. And now this forward step, and just everything stays sideways. Everything stays sideways, and it's just a thing of beauty. So I will also let you guys watch this in real time, but use this also on your return to serve. Look at these clips of him, what he does. Apply the three fundamentals that we worked on with Mike Bryan to this backhand, and you'll be able to really start to develop a great topspin backhand return to serve in doubles.
Well,